there's part of me that's like, okay, I had a visit from an angel that told me I saw sacred geometry. Like there was this orb of sacred geometry. The way that I remember waking up, it's like I slammed into my body, where you're just really, really high on the energy and reality looks really fake. Like you're really high on life essentially. And that is one of the highest realms that I tap into. So this is where it gets crazy, guys. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel, and hello if you are new, and welcome to my little spiritual corner. If you've been following me on my Instagram stories, this is where I do my 4 a.m. morning meditations, or have been trying to for my Kundalini yoga teacher training. So that's been a good time. We're working our way up there though. So I thought I would switch it up and film over here today, because honestly guys, this isn't really like a coffee talk. This is more of me acting off of intuition, because Spirit has been nudging me to make this video. This is very, I want to say random, but I am being nudged to make a video over my Usui Reiki Master Holy Fire training experience. So guys, I took this training, I think back in 22, and I had an epic experience. It led to a series of events that really changed my life, led me down a spiritual awakening that ultimately ended up being positive, but at the time didn't seem so positive. But anyway, so here we are. So I wanted to share my experience, just to share with you guys what the differences are between traditional Usui Reiki levels 1 through Master Teacher, which I teach and I practice, but also Reiki Holy Fire, what the difference is in that, and just kind of give you guys my experience. So guys, let's first go over the difference between Usui Reiki and Usui Holy Fire Reiki. The first difference, and the main one being, is that whenever you do traditional Usui Reiki, the attunements are given from the master teacher to the student, and the energy passes through the master teacher's body to the student. So they're imprinting the symbols, or encoding, however you want to look at it, the energy of the attunement, the symbols of the attunement in the student's energetic field. And there's a little ceremony with signs and symbols, and it's very sacred that only the master teachers pass that information on to other master teachers when the time that they graduate their class. With Holy Fire, that attunement is not given by the master teacher. It is conducted by the master teacher, but it is through ignitions, is what they call it. And that is hence the name Holy Fire, is because it actually ignites the energy inside the student. It bypasses the need for the master teacher to really be involved, besides just holding space and guiding the student through a meditation for the ignitions to take place. So in my opinion, this is just my opinion of why they do this, is to help master teachers release the expectations of the pressure that they put on themselves. I think the explanation that I did actually hear online, or it was from someone in the community, that they don't want the energy passing through the master teacher and then taking on the master teacher's energy and then going into the student. They say because this way the student gets some of the master teacher's energy, or energy can get blocked. And I believe that it's just trying to relieve the master teacher from expectations, trying to not put pressure on themselves, which thus I want to say blocks or like slows down the energy, or however you want to look at it. But supposedly you would not get the full effect of the energy. To each their own. From my experience and working with the energy, everyone creates their own reality. There are times whenever I have had epic downloads, experiences, in sessions, giving energy to clients and having amazing messages come through for them and their readings, and thinking like, oh my gosh, I just cannot wait to hear this person's experience. And then they were like, yeah, I fell asleep, and they don't remember anything, or they don't have the experience that I thought they were going to have. Then again, I've also done sessions where I'm like, man, I didn't really feel the energy at all, and my client had like a totally epic spiritual experience. So honestly, I really think it's your reality, and it's based upon the energy that you're in is what it's going to shift for you, or what you will experience. So everyone experiences exactly what they need in the moment. The energy will always give you what you need in the moment. My Holy Fire experience was really up leveled. It was more of a spiritual experience than my Usui Reiki. And who's to say that it was because of the energy of the Holy Fire, which he did tap into some amazing energy. I will say that it was beautiful the way it was channeled, the way it was felt. But that also had to be combined with the level at which where I was at in my journey. So I had been doing energy work for a while. I had taken the courses of the prerequisites required of Reiki Usui Holy Fire, which you have to be a Reiki master teacher of traditional Usui before you can even take this course. That is the main difference, is these ignitions are given instead of the attunement ceremony. Now, the other difference in this, and probably why I found myself really drawn to Holy Fire, ties in like Ascended Master Jesus. And, in me, when I think of Holy Fire, I think of the burning bush of Moses, because I did grow up with a Christian background or a Presbyterian background. But I grew up with that, so I resonate really hard with that type of energy, with the words that he was using, and like he, talking about angels and dimensions. He called them like 12 different heavens and stuff like that. So he really tied in the Christed consciousness or Christed aspect of religion, I want to say. But he doesn't mean it in a religious programming sense. I still to this day use Jesus, God, universe interchangeably, and it all means the same thing to me, to whereas some people it might not. So that was, I think, what really pushed me into having like really resonating with this type of energy. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into my experience. So guys, just to give you a basic understanding of the class layout of how I designed it, or I worked with my teacher to accommodate my schedule, was we met, I think, one time a week for 5 weeks for 4 hours at a time. So it was online via Zoom. So you can do these anywhere distant. It works just as good. That was the course layout. And just like the outline of the class would be, we would meet, we would kind of talk and chat about, just catch up. We would go over anything that we needed to, questions, anything like that. We would read a little bit of course material before the class, so just so we knew what we were going to talk about, so we could have a discussion. And we would start the class with like a meditation, get everybody grounded, and then we would dive into that lesson for that week. And we would talk about it. We would share experiences, ideas. And then after the lesson, we had, I think, one meditation that we would do. And then we would do another lesson, talk about it. And then we would have an ignition, is what they're called. And those are very long guided meditations. And then the energy just works through your body. So my teacher would guide us through a meditation, and the energy would work wherever it needed to in the body. And with these guided meditations too, guys, they were designed for healing in the body. They would take you on these healing journeys, essentially. And from what I now understand from my BQH training, which is beyond quantum healing hypnosis, guided meditations and the imagery that was coming through was also related to my healing. It's also messages that you can pick up along, let alone let the energy working through your body at the same time. So it did combine hypnosis, and I guess that's a form of meditation, with the ignitions. So I thought that was pretty cool. So the experience I really want to share with you guys, I think it was the last class that we had. And it was the last ignition, of course. We were vibing high. It was a great class, and she was putting us through a guided meditation. And so I was laying down, and I remember I was laying down, and I just started to feel heat. And I started to feel tingling sensations all in my body. And this is normal. But it got kind of intense for a little bit. And I honestly thought this was weird. So I've had a Kundalini awakening before. And it was 2 years, I think, before this class, actually. So I started actually getting the signs of what I remember of the Kundalini rising. So I'm like, okay, just, chill out, stay calm. But eventually, it did subside. I don't know if I lost it or what, but I started seeing, I see this very warm, peachy, golden color is what it looks like. And it's got gold sparkles. And that is one of the highest realms that I tap into. White is ultimate to me, but there is this golden peachy realm with a lot of sacred geometry and a lot of gold sparkles. It's the best way I can describe it. But I tapped into that energy, and I remember feeling this warm sensation all in my body, and also the top of my head. So now what I realize what this was is why they call, I think at least, or this is my theory, and what we discussed in our Kundalini yoga training over the weekend, was when this state happens, when you feel that warming, kind of orgasmic sensation all in your body, and it feels like your brain is dripping, almost. I don't know how else to explain it. But it's whenever that happens, your pineal gland is actually secreting DMT. And so this is the body's reaction to it. So I was seeing those colors and having that experience. It was honestly like a body orgasm is the best way to describe it. Just it feels that euphoric bliss, something, ecstasy, things like that. So I started to feel that. And then I saw the gold, and then I was gone. I don't remember what had happened. It blacked out. And the next thing that I knew, I could just hear the students talking on the Zoom, and I literally shot up because I was like, oh crap. I was gone. And I sat up real quick, and I turned and I looked, and I was asleep, past I think for 20 minutes past the meditation. So I was probably out for a good hour. Because I think these meditations are 30 minutes. So I was out for a while, and I could not believe it. But the way that I remember waking up, it's I slammed into my body. I had slammed it I don't know how else to describe it. It was very quick, very abrupt that I came back. It's almost like when you wake up and you're like that. So that's what I remember feeling. So I sat up real quick. I was told the class, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry if I held you up, whatever. It was totally fine, obviously. It happens. And now reading about it later, and I knew this at one point, because this is what happens in Reiki sessions as well too. People fall asleep. It's really your higher self coming in and basically taking your conscious awareness out so you can do the deep, deep, deep healing that needs to be done. So essentially what happens is you go to one of the highest realms where you can't consciously remember it. And then it's kind of like when you go to sleep at night, but it's not, this happening isn't really sleep. I don't know how else to describe it other than it's such deep healing taking place, and it happens really quick. So it's not like you just gently fall asleep. So after that had happened, we wrapped up class and I decided to do more meditation because I could feel a presence in the room. I was really tapped in at this point, and I remember like I was kind of like not seeing reality correctly. I wasn't disassociated by anything, guys. There's certain points where you're just really, really high on the energy and reality looks really fake. Like you're really high on life essentially. And so your conscious awareness is very expanded. So you can really see through reality. Like you can, for me, shit starts to fall apart. Like matter starts to fall apart. Things vibrate. I can see auras. Like I'm tapping into a whole nother level here. I decided to meditate and see what would come through because I was curious at what this presence was. Immediately, I went back to the golden realm really quick. I saw sacred geometry. Like there was this orb of sacred geometry, and I had seen it before. Twice actually, once in my Kundalini awakening, and then another time whenever I basically was meditating and left my body. This orb was there, same one, same presence, and it's an angel. And I want to, part of me wants to say it's Michael because Michael is always with me, but this feels not like Michael. I don't really know who this angel is. I think it's my guardian angel, honestly. So it's somebody I've never met before. It's just a presence that feels familiar and around me, but when I'm really tapped in, I can feel it. So this angel came to me when I was in meditation, and it goes, "You're going to get pregnant." And I'm like, okay. I'm like, you know, when I'm done, when I like left the meditation and I kind of came back and I'm like, is that real? Did that just freaking happen? You know what I mean? And I'm into, like, I say I'm into this stuff, but I'm really tuned in, guys. Like, I understand this stuff, and I was questioning that because one, I was not trying to, and two, my cycle was so off at the time. So I was like, whatever, like, can't be bothered with it, you know, if it happens, whatever. And so this is where it gets crazy, guys. Here's part of me that's like, okay, I had a visit from an angel that told me I was going to get pregnant. And I'm like, is this the same thing that happened to Mary when she was visited by the angel, say that she was going to get pregnant or going to have Jesus? I don't know. You know what? You get the picture, but I get how it happened now. It's not an angel didn't come down from the sky like, you know, a person walking in the room here. It was a message. So, or at least, you know, that's what I think. But fast forward, guys, like the next month I get my period. Like, and TMI, sorry guys, but you know, for me, to have a full-blown, like, 7-day period was epic. I was like, holy crap, I cannot believe this just happened. So that was amazing. And I do believe 100% it was from the healing that had occurred in the class, because I did let go of energy in the meditation. So 100%, guys, like, healing is energy work. Like, it is all about frequencies and vibrations, your mindset, emotions, stress, all of that. It has a big thing to do with healing. So I was honestly taken back by it. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I know it's from that class. So fast forward to December, I had 2 psychics reach out to me that I know in my community. They're like, hey, like, are you pregnant? And I'm like, mind you, I told nobody about this. Nobody. And I'm like, not that I know of. And they're like, well, I had a dream that you got pregnant. And then another one hit me up and was like, I just had the thought come to my head that you're pregnant. And I'm like, okay. So fast forward to January, middle of January, I started feeling off. Obviously missed my period. So I'm like, well, you know, maybe I had like 2 good months in a row and flop, whatever. I went and took a test, and it came back positive. So I was pregnant, and I was shocked that it all, like, literally came true, and that obviously didn't make it up. But obviously I don't have a child now. So yeah, I was extremely shocked at that and that it had all come true. Needless to say, guys, obviously it did not work out. But I also saw that timeline coming as well too. And there was a huge life, I don't want to say lesson, but it showed me a lot of things that I needed to learn. And the catalyst for this to all take place was that class. I know it. It shifted my frequency and it helped put me on my most optimal timeline. And most of you might be thinking out there, well, how can that be optimal? Because obviously I don't have a child right now, which I will link 2 videos down below where I go into great detail about what had happened and how like it was such a huge spiritual experience. How my intuition just like, there's something with being pregnant, guys, that your intuition just, it was crazy on point. With dreams, psychic experiences, crazy experiences. I'll link those videos down below. It gives you my story. But it really taught me a lot. Like that was the class that I needed, that energy that I needed, that experience that my soul needed to have to be able to realize what I did want in life. And to be able to help me see the power of the body. So that was healing that needed to happen with me. The energy of that class, guys, it definitely was up-leveled from my Reiki level 1 through Master Teacher. It was a different type of energy. And you'll realize this if you take different kinds of Reiki, that each one has a different energy signature and will help you do different things in your life. The Holy Fire is meant to deeply heal. It is meant to transcend deep trauma below like even what you are aware of, things that you don't even know that are stored in the subconscious. It is meant to bring them up to light and basically burn them, through the Holy Fire. So I really believe that through my experience, that was the class that catalyzed some really deep-rooted issues that I needed to work through. And that experience that I had in the class and afterwards helped me do that. So it helped up-level my life and help move me forward and to really see and be grateful for what I do have in this body, to see what it can do for me. You'll see, if you watch my other videos, guys, you'll see more of that story. But beyond that, guys, William Rand did actually come out with I think a year later, he came out with an upgrade for Holy Fire, and it was like the World Peace Ignition. So you could take this class and then get the World Peace Ignition if you've already like taken the class and it came out after. But now I think the World Peace Ignition is taught with this class. So I did the World Peace upgrade and I did a whole nother video on that, and I will link that down below. But with that being said, guys, that was my epic experience with that course. Now, of course, I had, plenty of other visions and spiritual experiences throughout it, but that was the craziest thing that had happened. These courses that you take for energy work, they are designed to heal you. All of it is designed to heal you. No matter what really course you take, you're going to expand your consciousness, and therefore that expands or raises your vibration. And ultimately, guys, if you take this course, you have to consider what your intention is. Are you taking it for personal healing? Are you taking it for personal healing and to help other people with it? Especially if you're going to help other people with it and become, a Reiki master teacher, practitioner, whatever, you have to literally become these things. You have no choice but to heal your life. You know what I mean? So that's why I love this work. It helps me out in my life so much. It makes me a better person, and I get to help others through this modality. And it is the most rewarding thing my soul could ever do. To be a teacher is the most rewarding thing to me, and to be able to help others step into their master teacher or their higher selves, or help them create the life that they desire or that their soul is craving to create, but they just need a little bit of help. And I get to be that channel for that person. I don't do it for them. I'm just the channel for this energy to work through their life, and I'm there to support them. So that is really, I say, the role of a light worker is just showing you where the light is already within you. It's connecting you back to what's already there. So this is just my chosen modality and how I like to do it, through energy work, psychic development, teaching, coaching, Kundalini yoga, maybe. We'll see. We're sharing that journey. Ooh, stay tuned. That's intense. Anyway, I hope you guys like this video. Like I said, it was very spur of the moment, maybe a little bit all over the place. This is what the manual looks like. I will leave his website below. Maybe someday I'll teach it. It wouldn't be hard, but it's quite a lot of work, guys. It's quite the dedication to do this. But I'm definitely thinking about offering. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it inspired you to maybe look into this next step in your Reiki journey. If you are a Reiki master teacher and looking to take it up to the next level, William Rand's course will do that for you. Definitely did it for me. Changed my life. Changed the trajectory of my life. So anyway, sending you all my light and all my love. We'll see ya.